G'day ladies and gentlemen, it is story time. I know this is something I've never tried on this channel before, but what the hell, we're gonna try it anyway. So, I would like to first off introduce my friend Zen.
Hello everyone.
So, if you watched my last video where I was answering comments, I actually introduced Zen because he happened to comment on one of my videos where we've got a few different plans. This is one of the things that we're planning on doing. He's also helping me design some logos for my page and some merch which I'm planning on releasing sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. But what we're doing today is we're playing a game called Once Upon a Time. Zen knows a bit more than me, so I'll let him explain it more quickly.
Look, Once Upon a Time, it's a storytelling game, hence our beautiful intro of being story time, where we are both trying to accomplish our own ending to a story. The one thing that's going to happen is we're both going to get an ending, which is what we're both trying to achieve. Now, I won't know what Josh's ending is, he won't know what mine is, so we're both going to be trying to tell a story, trying to get to this outcome, but we have no idea what the other person is trying to do.
This does sound like it's quite a serious game. Which is not what my channel's about, is it? No. But stay tuned because there might be a wisecracking frog who's best friends with a tiny pony.
So first of all, we're just going to give an ending, which is boop.
Yep.
And that is basically that whole deck done. So we're just going to get rid of those. So my ending, don't tell Josh, is that the monster was destroyed and the city was safe once more. So I'm going to be wanting a monster to appear in this story and for it to be a threat to a village of some kind. So they can try and defeat the monster and then I can get to my ending. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do.
So, my secret ending is, and his mother was delighted with such an unusual gift. Now, don't tell Zen. I don't know how you're going to tell Zen considering you can't really talk to us. But Professor Xavier, if you're watching, don't tell him, okay? I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do this because my hand is absolutely shit and I've got nothing that will help me with this. So I'm hoping that he's got something that's going to help me. But yeah, this is going to be interesting for me.
So I have W.
I have S.
So S comes before W, you get to go first.
I'm glad that we're very good at alphabet, hey?
We're fantastic at this. All right.
Once upon a time, there was a cook.
Ooh.
And I passed.
This is a common strategy.
We're off to a good
There was
start.
a cook. Okay.
Make what you can with that.
Okay, alright. There was a cook. And he was a most beautiful cook. One of the most fabulous gentlemen in the world. So beautiful that people hated him for his beauty.
Oh,
he was too beautiful. So they decided this cook who was very well off, he was great, prestigious, made lots of food, just handsome. They decided to slip something into his food because the cook always eats the food first. He has to make sure it's good for anybody else. Unfortunately, this was a mystical potion which cursed him to no longer be beautiful but a hideous cook that would not make delicious cakes but disgusting scones. The worst scones you've ever had.
It was cursed to be ugly and to make disgusting scones. Right.
Scones.
Right. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this. So the cook was actually a blind cook.
Ooh, okay.
And because he was blind, he didn't realise that he was married to a monster.
Alright. Okay.
And not only was he married to a monster, he was so blind that he never realised that they were actually living in a tree. And I pass.
I'm not quite sure where this story is going, but let's find out. People thought this whole ordeal was just crazy. It was insane.
I'd agree.
I think it's pretty crazy, yes. That the chef was so blind, but which made sense. You know, he was a tactile person. He wanted to knead the bread. You don't need to see bread. You just, you know, hope what you're doing is PG. And the monster took advantage of this. And in fact, it was she who cursed the chef because while he was beautiful, she was not. And she was angry about it. And just decided to, she wanted the chef to be hated. So she could be more attached to him. She suffered from codependency, which is a serious mental condition.
To be able to do all this, to be able to, put a curse on the cook, and to be able to, such a hideous monster, to be able to talk such a beautiful person and convince them that they're not a monster, the monster was actually very wise.
Yeah.
To be able to figure that stuff out.
Yeah. So, one day, in the tree that the chef and the monster lived in, an old person came along, an old grandmother, a very sweet old granny, very lovely lady. She came along and she said, "I would like to buy your finest scone." And the chef said, "We actually pronounce them scones." And thus...
Oh, no, you pronounce it scones at the start.
You pronounce them scones.
Yeah, I pronounce it
I know.
scones, you pronounce it
That's
scones.
right, she said she wants scones, and the chef says they pronounce scones.
But you put the... I put the chef down.
You did?
Yeah, but you said that he was making scones.
Yes, which are also scones.
Yes, but you pronounced it scones, and you corrected me when I pronounced it
And this was the argument the old woman and the chef had with each other.
We're making it...
So much that she didn't notice the monster hidden behind her, sneaking in the bushes, because she realized if this chef starts to realize that there's a whole different way of pronouncing words, he may realize there's a much bigger world out there, and I must end you. So she snuck up behind the old woman and pushed her down a well.
So she pushed her down a well that happened to be in the tree.
No, it was outside the tree.
Was it?
Yeah, well, they found it. It's
she was talking to the cook.
Yeah, but it's why
Why did the cook get out of the tree?
He was still in the tree.
So what, they were talking, they were shouting down at them.
It's one of those rice, snap, crackle, and pop situations. A little window, just sitting there. How can I get you scones? She's like, yes, the monster comes up and picks her up and just walks her and boom, down a well. How else did they get water for the bakery? They made this tree where there was a nice water supply.
All right, fair enough. The tree that they lived in, and the well and everything in the surroundings, is actually located in a swamp.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be where all the water's coming from.
Yeah. But while all this is going on, something has been... a gift that the cook had been meaning to give to his wife, the monster, was stolen before he could gift it.
Ooh. Well, you see, the monster, the chef, realizing it was gone and wondering, why did that old woman suddenly stop talking to me? The monsters told him, oh, she ran away, and thus the chef realized she stole the gift. And so I must track down this old woman who has stolen things, because clearly she's mentally deranged and has kleptomania in her old age.
So hang on, he's blind.
Yes.
He's going to try and find this old witch.
Yes.
Old person.
Yes.
Who is down a well.
Well, he doesn't know she's down the well.
No, but he's probably going to go on an adventure now.
Yes.
So this old man, this blind old man, is going to go on an adventure somehow.
Yes.
And somehow not get lost.
Yes.
And he's not going to find the old person, obviously, because she's down the well.
No.
So he's going to go on an adventure. This is what you need to understand. He's going to go on a big adventure, but he doesn't need to, because the old person is actually right outside the house.
Yep. About 20 feet under the house, 6 feet to the left, 20 feet down. So yes.
Well, at least we know where geographically the well is.
Yes.
That could be an important feature of this story. I don't believe so, but who knows?
The chef, knowing he was blind, found his trusty broomstick and used it as a makeshift cane to find his way through the woods to try and get back to the village that he thought he lived in, because he wasn't completely aware he was in a tree. He knew it was a very odd-shaped building, but he went off to find the old woman who stole the gift that he was going to give to his wife. And I pass.
Fair enough. But he did not go alone. He did not go alone. You see, he went with his son.
Okay. Okay.
He took his son with him.
Yep.
His son who is the son of not only him but also the monster.
Yeah.
So they've had a kid. Had a kid.
Yeah.
Obviously a grotesque kid because he's half monster.
But he's also a very beautifully grotesque monster because his father was very beautiful.
Well, is he though? Because the cook has been cursed to be ugly.
He was, but before that he was beautiful, and genetically his son should get the genes of his beauty.
But
Yep.
no. This was after
Very well.
the curse was done. So
Ugly son.
ugly half monster son. So disgusting, so horrifying that he's got clothed feet, and he can't go out looking like himself because he looks utterly horrible. So he goes in disguise. He goes in
what?
he wears a wig.
Okay.
He wears a wig. He wears big shoes to hide his cloven feet.
Yep.
He puts on lots of makeup. He's essentially a cake face at this stage. Hide his ugly features.
Yes.
And I pass.
So with his disguised son, who had been sent with the monster by his mother to take care of his father, who went off to find a gift that he believed was stolen, they went off.
Yeah.
Now, the son knew this was going to be a problem because he knew the gift was still at the house.
Did he?
But he knew his mother had said, look after your father, or I'll eat you, and then I'll have another one using the protein that I get out of your body. This was a majorly messed up family, I'm going to have you know.
She's going to eat her son?
They live in the swamp. They're halfway to hillbillies at this point.
Oh god! So I would not be. I would not be surprised if by the end of the story the kid's having another kid with the mother.
Yeah,
that's very.
That can happen in this story as well. Okay, but
I mean, hey, anyone that happens to live in America's in the sticks is probably thinking this is like a family story.
Yeah. Like my end, and the hillbilly son married his mother. Yeah, I'm halfway there. I'm halfway good. They headed into the village to try and find the gift, and the son wore his disguise, and
they went to the village.
They went to the village, the local village. Well, the baker used to bake bread for people. It's just once he got married to the monster, he got taken to her house, which was in the forest. So, yeah. Anyway, so he went to the village and he started asking, I'm looking for an old woman who came by my place and couldn't decide if it's pronounced scones or scones. Have you seen her? Because I sure as hell haven't.
So, while they're in the village, they happen upon a witch. They happen to find a witch who lives in a tiny cottage on the outskirts of the town, just as they're entering the town. And, they tell this old witch about the tale and how he was once beautiful, but now he's ugly and he's blind. And the witch took pity on them and healed the cook. So he's not only beautiful once more, but he's no longer blind. He can actually see things. This could become very handy in the world. It's not going to help him find the present because, he doesn't know where the present is. It's back home. But, it's everything's going good for him so far.
And so, with his eyesight gained, he decided to go back home and share this with his lovely wife, but was horrified when he finally saw her for the first time.
Oh, I would be too. Can you imagine it?
And he exclaimed, "You're not what you said you were. You're not a redhead." And ran back to the village saying, "I've been fooled." And the people asked, What is it, good man? Have you finally come to your senses after dealing with that crazy situation of marrying that monster who makes you live in a tree? And he said, I've been living in a what now?
I thought I was living in a castle this whole time.
Beautiful. I said, no, you've been a victim to a very horrible monster. I said, well, I will have none of this. I will go and I will defeat my wife in mortal combat. And that's how you get divorced in this state. Because divorce hasn't become a legal practice during this time period.
Go back to the law.
Yes, and I will pass.
Mortal Kombat. And if he wins 7 combats, he can take over another dimension.
Yes!
as all Mortal Kombats do. And Raiden will help him. His old friend Raiden.
Yep. Good old buddy, Lord of Thunder. Yep.
My God, how did we get to this stage?
I don't know, you're the one who introduced the monster wife.
I don't know.
And the son he's
You
looking
entered the Mortal Kombat.
he wants to get a divorce. I've put you in a turn, haven't I?
So he goes back home and he battles his wife. Yes, this big, giant, 8-foot tall monster with clothes and long, sharp nails. You can imagine their sex life.
Mm-hmm.
My God,
Kinky
man.
as hell.
Oh my God.
Triple X rated.
Not just triple X, 5X. My God.
All the X's.
All the X's in the alphabet, which is actually only one, but not this alphabet.
Yep.
Anyway, so he battles this monster. This old man, well, he's not old, but this cook, this normal human battles this giant monster. You can imagine how this went. The monster beat him to a bloody pulp and then ate him. So now that and while this is all going on, the son, takes pity on the old woman, and while his mother's distracted, he goes down, he gets the old woman out of the well, and it turns out that the old woman is actually a witch.
Oh.
Yes, and she was very thankful, that she gave the present that she stole from the cook to the son. And then she's actually a sister of the other witch they met, which is why the other witch was so helpful.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so she goes back home anyway, and then the son, and his mother was delighted with such an unusual gift, because the gift itself was a frog.
That explains why you introduced the gift early. Yes, that makes sense. So that's Once Upon a Time.
I don't know how well this will go on my channel, but if it goes well, we'll definitely do it again. I certainly hope it does.
Well, let us know in the comment below. What did you think?
Yeah. Did you enjoy it? Do you want to see it again?
What was your favourite twist of the tale? Was it the man regaining his eyesight? Was it
the fact that he was married to a monster and they had a child?
Was it the fact his son came along and more or less vanished into the background as soon as he appeared?
Or that, he didn't show up until halfway through the story.
I'm also here, Father.
Oh, God. Or what about the fact that he's obviously had sex with the monster, and being blind, you would have thought that he was good with his hands, he'd be able to tell how ugly she was, and yet this completely, it was...
Is this doing it for you, honey? Need the dough.
Oh, God. Oh, what's all these wrinkles I see? Oh, you've got your stilettos on this time. Those aren't stilettos, sir. Those
Yes, all 10 of your stilettos. I think I may have broken Josh.
Oh, my God. Anyway, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Did you like it? Do you want to see it again? Is there another game you'd like us to play? Because I'd definitely like to do more games like this and put a comedic twist on it. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe the video, as always, have a good week, be kind to one another, and I'll see you next time. Bye!